I love their shield effects. Really cool.
Yeah.
It's like sphere things.
Have you heard of Dolphin, the emulator?
Yeah.
I guess it's pretty good. Like real good.
Isn't that a GameCube emulator?
It's GameCube and Wii, I think.
Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool.
It's like good enough to the point, like they figured out how to make the Wii eShop accessible.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that article about it.
That's super interesting. So you can literally boot up your Wii emulator and then buy a game on the Wii eShop and then play it.
Yeah, what would be cool is if you could play like Metroid Prime on it.
Yeah.
In like a higher resolution.
Right. I guess you probably can if that's available on the eShop.
Or you just get an ISO of it. Yeah.
Let's shoot that guy.
Because he was coming at me. I didn't like the way he was looking at me. They need to know their place, these new Svit. I feel like they haven't learned it yet. Like they're the humans and I'm the angel. And God's like, bow to this dude.
You're the angel?
Yeah, I'm like Satan, you know? Satan was like, nope. I ain't bowing to no. I ain't bowing to no nobody. Man. So, don't you hate when like you're watching like a video on YouTube and somebody says something in the video that you know is probably going to piss a bunch of people off, and then you're like, I bet that there's like a whole thread of comments on this video, and then you look at the comments and you're totally correct about that?
In what way? Like a thing that shouldn't produce that result, or
basically, or just like a thing that of course it would. Like,
yeah.
And
are you talking about
it's
like
just it's funny in the way that, like, you know how you and I think it's kind of weird that like everyone in the Geek Squad when we worked there was a Republican, and like so many IT people are Republicans.
Yeah.
Like there's so many conservatives who are like doing occupations or whatever. You know, there's things about them that would suggest that maybe they're nerds, and you would think that nerds would tend to be liberal, but they're not for some reason. You know, basically nerds just like aren't. The thing about nerds, I guess, is that they're not smart. Like a lot of them aren't very intelligent. They're just nerds about specific stuff or whatever, you know? Like being an intelligent guy is a different thing than being a nerd, and you can be both, but being a nerd does not. I guess you just can't get there from here. Being a nerd doesn't make you intelligent. The ability to speak doesn't make you intelligent. Mm-hmm. So I guess I could come around this corner at it.
Come around.
So all of that to say, I was watching like a stupid video that like it was like Commander Holly and Ross O'Donovan and Markiplier doing one of their like they just play some dumb game on a website videos. You know, they were playing like Would You Rather on some website, and one of the Would You Rathers was Would you rather live an extra 50 years or be guaranteed entrance to heaven? And Holly was just like, well, heaven's not real, so. And then just picked 50 years. And I was like, oh my God, I bet. She didn't make a big deal out of it or anything. It should just be an innocuous comment. It's just, you know, like whatever. Holly's an atheist. That's fine. But nope, like everyone was so mad. Mm-hmm. Everyone was so angry that she expressed that opinion.
There are a lot of religious people in the world.
It's crazy. It's so crazy, all the things that people were saying. It's just like, oh my God, you losers. You losers are sitting around on like YouTube videos arguing about whether there's an afterlife. You think that you 12-year-olds watching Let's Plays, you think you're going to figure it out? Like you think that it's so weird. It's so weird that like there's this generation of young people who believe in God.
Yeah. Like it's continuing on.
And they just think it's obvious. They're just like, how could you not believe in heaven? Like, God.
Yeah, they're just like right
you?
in there. They're just like well seated within their role as a like person who grew up in a religious household.
Yeah, I just I don't see how. Like, basically, Holly's attitude toward that because she's super non-confrontational, is to just be like, whatever, I didn't mean to make anybody mad. You know, just if you can do whatever you want. I don't want to start anything. But like, I feel like if I was a famous YouTuber, then I would be a huge dick about it. I would just be like, if that happened on a video of ours somehow, if there was like a huge fight about how we're crazy for not thinking that there's a heaven or whatever, I would just in every video talk about Satan from now on. It would just be like,
Satan.
And this video is brought to you by Satan. Satan is the master.
Satan is the
fuck
one who
Jesus
loves you.
and fuck your God. Just like, I don't believe in your doctrine, man. Jesus
I bet,
Christ.
like, if you look at the number of comments total on the video versus the views, though, it would still be like,
I mean, that's how it always
relatively
is.
small. Like, it's
Like
just
the number of people who
decided to
engage
talk
with
about
a piece
stuff.
of content is so small usually compared to the number of people who watched it, or, you know, who were exposed to it.
So most people are probably just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's there. That doesn't mean that there's not like a
But
decent
so
chunk
I
of
guess
people.
the thing that's kind of disheartening for me specifically in this case, though, is that Holly's comments, unlike most YouTube comments, are usually just people being like, "You're cute," or whatever. You know, thanks, Bird Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she makes a point of talking about how cool her tweet hearts are all the time or whatever. Like she just like has this community of like pretty okay people who are just into cute stuff or whatever. So most of the time when you're scrolling through her comments, that's what it is. It's like that kind of stuff. Just people being like, you know, fucking nice to each other. So to see just if you see that, and you know that the people who are watching the video are the same people who are watching and commenting on those other videos, at least some of them must be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or at least it's from the same cohort. The people who comment on Commander Holly videos, those same people have this opinion about, like, comments about religion. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little gross to me.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. Durandana. Charlemagne used to always call me Durandana, the fruitcake. The fruitcake, I think, is what he means. He's calling Charlemagne a fruitcake. The faggot.
Durandana. Durandana, the fruitcake.
Durandana, the fruitcake. Durandana, the fruitcake. All the many implements of war to him were in some way feminine. Not that you know the story. Tycho never got it right either, especially the part about Roland breaking me. He couldn't. No one can. I'm certain that you are curious about what happened to me after our ship fell to the fore. How after being deactivated, downloaded into a containment unit, and still treated like the most dangerous artificial construct in the universe, I was able to escape and to assume control of the ship on which I was imprisoned and turn it against its masters. Well, I mean, you just answered it for us. Like, we thought we had blown you up, but it turns out the Four downloaded you and put you on their ship. And it's like, well, then of course you escaped. What are you talking about? They fucked themselves. The answer is simple. Tycho was a fool. But it was convenient for me to be, or I guess Tycho did that to him, so yeah, Tycho's an idiot. But it was convenient for me to be absent, as Thoth might not have been so helpful if he had known I'd still lived. That's something I'll have to explain later when we have more time. Thoth is now trying to aid the Four, but they are obstinate and continue to ignore him. I don't think I have to tell you what to do here. Yeah. I mean, you want me to just, like, kill
Kill
him?
them all?
Is that okay? I love the idea. This is a cool, like, did Durandal, like, synthesize this image?
I don't know.
Because it's an image. It's an image of the mythic blade
Presumably.
Durandal
Stuck in a four
in a four skull. So unless there's some alternate history stuff going on where Roland killed a four guy
Back in the day.
back in the day, back in like dinosaur times. Do you think caveman days or dinosaur times is indicative of greater stupidity?
I feel like caveman days is more common. Dinosaur times is funnier. I feel like I don't hear people say dinosaur times, really. I feel like it's always caveman days.
Carl Pilkington said dinosaur times.
Did he? That's a very... Carl Pilkington says a lot of...
He's a pretty caveman days kind of dude.
Yeah, but he always puts like his spin on it. Like, nobody fucking says dinosaur times. It's just his thing.
I think he thinks that caveman days and dinosaur times were the same times.
Yeah, that's
also.
what I'm assuming. Like he's using that to mean caveman days, which is not the case at all.
Eek, the Earth is only 6,000 years old because the Bible says the Bible has guys who are that many years old.
That's a good point. Luckily, thanks to the...
Does the Bible say these were the only people? Like even if you're gonna say that the Bible is the authoritative text, I think it doesn't make any sense because like the Bible would not only have to say these people lived this long, it would have to say these were the only people. Like like these were just all the people that happened. Like but like what if it's how do you figure only 6,000 years from this genealogy of people? Is it like this guy was alive at this date and he was the son of this? You can just like link the chain all the way back.
I think that's what the first chunk of the Bible is like just a
genealogy.
A genealogy, yeah. It's like Abraham Jackson lived for 900 years or whatever. Jackson. Because I don't know how long the real Abraham supposedly lived, but like. Just some fucking Abraham.
And they supposedly lived like hundreds of years, right?
Yeah.
Like Bible dudes or like back in Bible times. Does this damage them? Looks like it. Yeah, cool. Back in Bible times, dudes lived longer because Jesus wasn't mad at us yet or whatever.
Yeah.
That seems like some horseshit to me.
And luckily, thanks to the fucking thing, the embarrassment thing, the
criterion of embarrassment. Yeah.
We know that the Bible is true.
I love all these like smoke screens that like dumbass religious people use to try to sound intelligent to their dumbass constituents, you know? Just like they make up terms like that to use in their religious history, you know, their bullshit religious historian nonsense. They're just like, this is the criterion of embarrassment. Yeah. That sounds like something. That sounds like some history shit. But no actual historian would use that term ever.
All it is that because this would be embarrassing for the person to write, it's more likely to be true. Right?
Yeah, which is insane and doesn't even logically follow. God damn.